Good morning, student. Welcome here in your social science class. As you all of you know that we are discussing chapter number 3 from your history, the Delhi Sultans, and this is your part 2 of this chapter. Today we will discuss some important questions from mid of the chapter. Okay. Just look at here, student. The question, why was there no mention of Delhi till 12th century? So, as you already know that in chapter 2 also we saw that regions like the which one Kaveri Delta became the center of large kingdoms that time, from you can say that from 7th to 12th century. Okay, which delta became the center of large kingdoms? Kaveri Delta. That time there was no mention of Delhi because it became important only during the 12th century. Now look at the question number 2. Under which dynasty did Delhi become the capital? Okay. Then when did it become an important commercial center? Here the two part of the question. First we will discuss this one. Under which dynasty did Delhi become the capital? So the answer, the Delhi first became the capital of the kingdom under Tomar Rajput. Whom? Yes. Under the Tomar Rajput, Delhi first became the capital of a kingdom. You know that they were defeated in the middle of the 12th century by whom? By the Chauhans, and Chauhans also referred as Chamnas of Ajmer. So it was under the Tomar and Chauhan, Delhi became an important commercial center. That time many rich Jain merchants lived in the city and constructed several temples. Coins also minted here. Okay, then called Delhiwal. So what do you understand by Delhiwal here? So Delhiwal were the coins that were in circulation in the region under whom? Under Tomars. Okay, and so coins minted here called Delhiwal had a wide circulation. Now student, just look at the another question here. As you can see, name the Rajput dynasty that ruled during 12th century. First of all you have to name, so the whom? Yes, Anangapala of Tomar dynasty. Under the Tomar dynasty, whom? Anangapala. And what about the Anangapala region that time, reign that time 1130 to 1145. After this, the next one, Prithviraj Chauhan of Chauhan dynasty. Whom? Yes, Prithviraj Chauhan. From when to when? From 1175 to 1192. Okay, these were two important dynasties. The first were under Tomar dynasty, Anangapala, from 1130 to 1145. Then Prithviraj Chauhan of Chauhan dynasty. When? Yes, from 1175 to 1192. So these two were important Rajput rulers during the 12th century. Now just look at the question number. Next question. Name the rulers of slave dynasty. You have to say rulers of which dynasty? Slave dynasty. Kutubuddin Aibak. Okay, who? Kutubuddin Aibak, military general of Muhammad Ghori, established the slave dynasty. So here the question comes. First of all, you must know about who established the slave dynasty. So who? Kutubuddin Aibak, who was the military general of Muhammad Ghori. So Kutubuddin Aibak established a slave dynasty. He was followed by Iltutmish and Razia. Okay, the first woman Sultan and Balban. All of you know about the Razia also. Okay, now just look at the another question. The next question is, name the important rulers of other dynasty that ruled over Delhi. Another dynasty also. Just take a look. First of all, Khalji dynasty. Khalji dynasty from 1290 to 1320. Under whom? Under Jalaluddin and Alauddin Khilji. The next one, Tughlaq dynasty. Tughlaq dynasty from 1320 to 1414. Under whom? Ghiyasuddin Balban. Okay, then Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, then Muhammad Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, the next one is Sayyid dynasty. Sayyid dynasty, you can say that the time period was that time 1414 to 1451. Okay, and 1414 to 1451, and under whom, which ruler? Khizr Khan. Okay, now the next one, Lodi dynasty. Okay, which dynasty? Lodi dynasty. From when to when? From 1451 to 1526. Under whom? Bahulul Lodi. Okay, so these are the important rulers of other dynasty: Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, then which the next one? Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. Now students, just look at here. Who were the authors of Tariq? Write in brief about them. This question is very important. You can say that also. So look at all these questions which I am explaining in this video. So as you already know that inscription, coins and architecture provide a lot of information. Especially valuable are histories, and Tariq singular and Tariq. Okay, here the Tariq plural written in Persian. So the authors of Tariq were learned men. Which one? Yes, the authors of Tariq were learned men. They were secretaries. Which one? Yes, कौन कौन होते थे वो? They were secretaries. They were administrators, poets and courtiers who recounted events as well as advised rulers on governance. Okay, जो rulers को advise भी करते थे, and they were which one? Secretaries, administrators, poets and courtiers also. Okay, emphasizing the importance of justice rule. जो advice करते थे rulers को भी किसके लिए? ताकि उनका जो भी justice है, जो भी उनका governance है, उसके rule के लिए. The authors of Tariq lived in cities. Okay, lived in cities mainly in Delhi, and therefore they were cut off from the village where they were mainly live. So they were mainly live in the Delhi. So that's why from the village they were finally cut off. They used to write histories in praise of the sultans, and in return got rich awards. As you all if you know that just same like prasastis also na. So that's why they also wrote praise of their sultans, and from the sultans in return they got so much rich awards also. These authors advised ruler that they should follow an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinction. Okay, common mass had nothing to do with their ideas. Here you can say that if we talk about with their ideas, common mass had nothing to do. Okay, now just look at the next question. Who was Razia? Why was she not accepted as a sultan in spite of being talented? So Razia was sultan. Okay, that time, as you all of you know that in 1236, yes, in 1236 Sultan Iltutmish daughter Razia became sultan. So जो Iltutmish की daughter थी Razia Sultan, she became sultan and underwent 1236. As you know, she was very talented according to the chronicle of the age. मिनहाज सिराज ने कहा उनके लिए, शी वॉज मोर एबल एंड क्वालिफाइड देन ऑल हर ब्रदर्स. If we compare the Razia Sultan that time, so Minhaj Siraj told that all of you, Razia Sultan was more qualified, okay, than all her brother. But she was as expected when she became a ruler. Those were the days when women were not allowed to enjoy इंडिपेंडेंट आइडेंटिटी. बहुत वैसे दिन थे बेटा जब लोग वहाँ बिल्कुल एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते थे वुमेन को कि वो अपनी एक अलग में इस्टेब्लिश करे, इंडिपेंडेंट आइडेंटिटी इस्टेब्लिश करे. फाइन. दैट टाइम पीपल वर सपोज टू बी सब ऑर्डिनेट टू मैन. वो मैन को ही फॉलो करते थे. दिस लेड टू हर रिमूवल फ्रॉम द थ्रोन इन 1240. सो दैट टाइम The Chronicle of the Age, Minhaj Siraj recognized that Raja Sultan was more able and qualified than all her brothers, but he was not comfortable at having a queen. But she was not comfortable as having a ruler's ruler, nor were the nobles happy that time at her attempts to rule independently. So that's why she was removed from the throne in 1240. Now the student look at here. What was the first expansion during the period? So first we will talk about the first expansion. Okay, in the first expansion forests were cleared. Okay, under which internal frontier you can say that. So forests were cleared and were in the Ganga Yamuna Dab. ओके एंड हंटर गैदर्स जो थे आपके उस टाइम के हंटर गैदर्स थे बेटा, पेस्ट्रोलिस्ट थे आपके, एक्सपेंड फ्रॉम देयर हैबिटेट, उन्हें हटा दिया गया. दीज लैंड्स वर गिवन टू whom? These lands were given to peasants and agriculture was encouraged. Due to they wanted that time to agriculture was also encouraged, so they were given to these land to the peasants. Okay, new foresters, garrison towns and so many towns also were established to protect trade routes. काफ़ी garrison towns बनाए गए ताकि क्या establish हो सके, trade routes, and to promote regional trade also. The next question, what occurred in second expansion of the Sultanate? The second expansion occurred along the external. If you talk about the first expansion, it occurred along the internal frontier. As all of you know that forests were cleared also in the Ganga Yamuna Dab, and hunter-gatherers and pastoralists expelled from their habitat, and they encouraged the which thing? They encouraged just like agriculture. Peasants in agriculture was encouraged. If you talk about the second expansion occurred along the external frontier of the Sultanate. Okay, it is a difference between first expansion and second expansion, so don't get confused. If you talk about the first, internal, and if you talk about the second, external. Okay, so the second expansion occurred along the external frontier of the Sultanate. Military expedition into southern India, okay, were started during the reign of Alauddin Khalji. During the reign of whom? Which thing started? Yes, during the reign of the Alauddin Khalji, under the external frontier of the Sultanate, military expedition, and culminated with Muhammad Tughlaq. Fine. Now just look at the next question, student, here. Why did, okay, here the question, why did large parts of the subcontinent remain outside the control of Delhi Sultan? क्यों कुछ रिमेन पार्ट्स था दिल्ली सुल्तान का उनके कंट्रोल से बाहर? What were their percussions? Okay, now the large parts of the subcontinent remained outside the control of the Delhi Sultans because they were very far from Delhi. First of all, वो बहुत दूर एरिया था. So just take an example also. It was difficult to control Bengal from Delhi. कि आपका सुल्तान जो है दिल्ली में है, उसका एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दिल्ली में हो रहा है, बट इट्स टू डिफ़िकल्ट कि वो वहीं से रह के कंट्रोल करे बंगाल को. This helplessness of this Delhi Sultans paved the way of distinct provinces to the get independence. Okay, even in the genetic plain, there were forested areas that Sultanate force could not penetrate. Forested area also in plain, if we talk about Gangetic plain, so तब भी difficult होती थी सुल्तान्स को वहाँ control करने में. Okay, it was a golden opportunity for the local chieftains that time. So that's why, because so many reasons were very far from the Delhi, and so outside the control of the Delhi Sultan is too difficult. So that's why it was a golden opportunity for whom? It was a golden opportunity for the local chieftains to establish their rule in these regions. Now look at here the next question. What were the 4 stages in the making of a manuscript? Okay, so the 4 stages in the making of a manuscript are: the first one, preparing the paper. Okay, which is the first one? Preparing the paper. Then the second one, writing the text, and the third one, मेल्टिंग गोल्ड टू हाईलाइट इम्पॉर्टेंट वर्ड्स एंड पैसेजेस. गोल्ड को मेल्ट किया जाता था बेटा फॉर वर्ड हाईलाइट करने के लिए जो इम्पॉर्टेंट वर्ड्स एंड पैसेज थे. देन द लास्ट वन, प्रिपेयरिंग द बाइंडिंग. Here as you can see in this picture also, the first one, okay, preparing the paper prepare कर रहे हैं. Then after this the second one, writing the text. Here the writing the text, then the melting gold to highlight important words and passage. Here as you can see, melting the gold to highlight to which thing, to highlight the important words and passages. And the last one here as you can see, preparing the binding. So these are the 4 stages in the making of a manuscripts. Look at here the next question. What was the impact of the Mongol inventions, okay, on the Delhi Sultanate? So the question, what was the impact of the Mongol inventions of the Delhi Sultanate? Okay, the impact of the Mongol invasions on the Delhi Sultanate, the first one, as look at here, Alauddin constructed a new garrison town. Okay, who constructed a new garrison town? Alauddin. Okay, so as you all of you know that Alauddin constructed a new garrison town named Siri for his soldiers. उसने एक garrison town बनाया for his soldier, and what was the name? Named which thing? Siri. He imposed taxes as 50% of the peasants' yield to feed the army. Yes, how much percentage? 50% of the peasant yields to feed the army. He began to pay his soldiers salaries in cash rather than iktas. उसने salary देना start करी. Okay, then Muhammad Tughlaq shifted residents of Delhi to the new capital of Daulatabad. मोहम्मद जो तुगलक ने रेसिडेंट जो दिल्ली था वो कहाँ शिफ्ट करा? Daulatabad in the south, and converted Delhi into garrison town. Now student, just look at the question here. The question, do you think the authors of Tariq would provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women? So no, I don't think, because of the following reason. There are some reason behind it. That's why we can say that Tariq would provide, authors of Tariq, is it provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women? No, because the reasons here as you can see, the authors of Tariq lived in the cities, mainly Delhi. As all of you know that mainly Delhi, the authors of Tariq were lived in the cities. Okay, and Tariq were learned men, as you all of you know that they were secretaries, administrators, poets and courtiers who both recounted events and advised rulers on governance and emphasizing the importance of just rule. So they were mainly lived in the cities, okay, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in the village. They often wrote their histories only for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. उनको क्या चाहिए था? एट द पर्पस ऑफ द रिवार्ड. वो किसके लिए लिखते थे? मोस्टली अपने सुल्तान, हिस्ट्रीज फॉर सुल्तान, जस्ट लाइक प्रशस्तीज. दे हैड नथिंग टू डू विद द कॉमन मैन. उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया कॉमन मैन के साथ. These authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinction. Okay, their ideas were not shared by everybody. उनके जो ideas थे वो नहीं share किए जाते थे everybody, because they wanted only to get more and more rich rewards. Okay, that's why वो उसी में interest थे कि वो अपने जो उनके histories हैं सुल्तान्स की उसी में वो लिखें. So student, for today that's it. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day ahead.